the view from the deck, which is kind of nice. Our garden. I'm going to get down there and show you what we got going on. Good morning, everybody. I thought I'd do just a quick little update now that we have the garden fully planted. We still have a little bit of work left to do in here, but everything's in. So this is what it looks like. We were supposed to get rain today, but I don't know if we're actually... The forecast is now calling for sun. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it rains. So I'll start over here. My rhubarb is not dead. I've been really good at killing rhubarb, but this stuff's doing good. And here our cucumbers are all popping up. We have pickling cucumbers, and then we have these really good little, I don't know if they're called Boothby or something like that. Cucumbers, little white cucumbers. They're just good for like snacking. And then I have some dill in there just for a little companion. Lettuce and, what's that? Cabbage, red cabbage. So these here are, well, I planted some collard greens and the Swiss chard is coming up good. I transplanted some of the beans from there over here because whatever I planted there didn't come up. So, whatever. Just some more lettuces and stuff. But I wanted to show you our beautiful tomatoes and how good they're doing. These tomatoes were started in the house in a window. And as you can see, they are not spindly and they are not dead. Which I have watched other YouTube channels that say if you start your plants in the window, they're not going to do good. They're going to die. Whatever else. But all of these tomatoes were started in the house and they're doing fabulous. So we've got yellow beans and green beans planted with the tomatoes. And here are some more of our beautiful tomatoes. Like, they're doing so good. I'm so excited. I love tomatoes. And on the other side we have, well, those would be red carrots. And then I do have some broccoli planted because I didn't have anywhere else to put it. I know, no broccoli with tomatoes, but I'm not too worried about it. And then we've got the purple carrots there. My borage is, I'd say, ready to bloom soon. These here would be the smaller tomatoes. That's why they're a little bit smaller looking plants. And then these are just regular orange Danver carrots, I do believe they're called. This is our herb bed. Everything's doing really good. Rosemary, sage, chives, thyme. A lot of my hyssop got eaten off by the slugs, but I got one little patch here that's doing good, and I planted a little bit more. Mint, lemon balm, and basil. Why can I never know? That's oregano, I think. I never know what that is. And here we've got our strawberries and asparagus, and I was very excited to see the asparagus is sending out more spears, so that's cool. The strawberries are doing good. Again, this stuff was all started in a window. I had absolutely no heat mats for these strawberries, and we started them in the house in a window. All of them that I planted came up except for one little pot. So you can do it. You do not need all of the different pieces of equipment other people tell you need. I mean, if you saw the video, you saw the small window that we had all of our plants in. So they're doing great. These are potatoes, and they're starting to come up. There, and a bunch there. Those there are rutabaga. I wasn't planning on planting any, but I had a bare patch there, so I just decided. We had so many extra tomatoes, too. I planted some up there. And there also is some broccoli as well. And same bed here, I've got asparagus and strawberries. And my strawberries are starting to mature, and the asparagus is sending out new spears, which is very exciting. And these here are just, what do you call them? I can never, there's things that I just cannot remember, but marigolds. And then this here is just some herbal flowers, yeah. So we've got cornflower, chamomile, mallow, calendula, poppies, and in the middle are hollyhocks. And I will show you what's going on in these things, yeah. This one here was planted mostly hot peppers, and as you can see, we don't really have any. There is one, and the one behind it I thought was going to die, but it looks like it is attempting to make a comeback. This one here is, I think it's done, but that's okay. And I had the room, so I just decided to plant, I got one lone sweet potato, a bean, and then a couple of tomatoes that I just plopped in here because we had so many that grew. And nasturtium, those were started in a window too. Those ended up spindly. But this one's doing really good. And this one here, all the peppers have finally kind of started to wake up and grow again. So hopefully we'll have some, but I don't know, we'll see. Next year I'm going to start things earlier. I just didn't know exactly how things were going to go here for weather, and you hear so many stories about how much harsher the winters are and stuff, and our winter ended up being pretty nice. So kale, I did have a row of kale, but the slugs got most of it, and that's what happened in this one. I think with the peppers, there's a hill right here, and all the slugs, you can come up and see just all the slugs crawling up this hill. So they hit this box first, I'm pretty sure, and then ate a lot of my stuff in there. And then we went on a slug hunting spree and caught a whole bunch of slugs. So this was the bed that we wanted to put in, and we did. And we had so many, but I think like 4 bags of seed potatoes. So we needed another place to put the rest of them. So this one is potatoes, and then when we harvest in the fall, I think we're going to fill this one with garlic and shallots. And then obviously in between, sorry, mosquitoes, each bed where the straw is, were potatoes. We just didn't have anywhere else to put them, so we put them there. And I said we were going to do the Three Sisters gardening, so that's what we have going on in these little spots here. So this would be corn, probably yellow climbing beans, and around the edge is squash, which would be spaghetti squash. None of them have come up yet, and I thought they would. Is this one? Oh, there we go. There's one. Yay! So that's coming up. This one here would be pie pumpkins, and again, yellow beans around the corn and corn. And this is colored corn. What I was told about that is it makes really good cornmeal. So we'll see how that goes. And you can eat it, but it's also very beautiful as a decoration. This one here, yellow bantam corn. The beans in this one have come up a lot faster, and what I learned, I don't know if it's true or not, but you should plant your corn first, let that come up and be established, and then your beans, and then your squash. So we'll see how it goes. I'm probably going to end up having to build a little teepee trellis to encourage the beans. These are green, would be green beans, but to encourage the beans to grow up the trellis, because my corn is obviously slower here than my beans. This here is buttercup squash, I think, and this one here would be acorn squash. So I have acorn squash, buttercup squash, pie pumpkins, and spaghetti squash that's just started coming up. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know if they were going to come up or not. So that is pretty much the update on the garden right now, and hopefully it'll explode over the next few weeks and start growing us some food. And I'm going to show you one more thing. So this is down at the bottom of the hill. We have a new addition to take place of one of our olds. This one here, I put in a video that it got knocked over twice by a bear. My fault. I should have had the fence up sooner, and I didn't. So this was my mistake. Completely my fault. I don't think they're going to make it. I checked them when I installed these bees in here, and I don't think they have a queen. I think so. I mean, I could put a queen in, but there's hardly any bees in there. So I'm thinking they're not going to make it. Now, it is a pretty damp day, so the bees aren't out. But this hive so far is doing really well. I'm going to check them on Wednesday. I just put them in, so we shall see. They're doing really good. They're coming and going. Everybody seems happy. And we kind of Frankensteined this hive because I have a really hard time with the, what do you call them? Langstroth? Vertical hives. I can't lift the box, like once it's full of honey, I can't lift it to check. And yeah, you can pull all the frames out and get down in there, but I like the idea of the top bar hive better. So we'll see. This is just kind of a tester hive because we didn't really have the money to go buy a Langstroth or build one. So we just kind of put together one we had. We're going to try it and see how it goes with that. So that's the new addition, and everybody seems to be doing good and is happy, and I will be checking them this coming Wednesday to make sure that the queen is good, they're queen right, and she's laying, and they're bringing in the needed food that they need, which they most certainly seem to be doing. If you sit here and watch them, their little pollen pants are just full when they come in. So that is the new addition, and we probably won't have honey this year, I'm guessing. So that's that. And we got a lot of dogwood. We've got a lot of choke cherries, and we have a serviceberry tree, which is pretty cool because they're kind of like blueberries. That was just from our little tour around when I was trying to figure out what we had on the property. But yeah, so hopefully these bees will do better and not get knocked over. I hope you guys have a really good weekend and a restful Shabbat. Shalom.